Hey, it's Soul with another video, and today we're going to take a closer look at the Fury Incarnate cinematic that'll kick off patch 10.1.7. If you don't mind, hit the like button, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live on Twitch, and if you haven't seen it yet, check out the full cinematic on WoW's official YouTube channel, because I'm going to be going line by line, so let's go. The cinematic opens with a dragon in visage form, waking up to the soothing rasp of Fyrakk, the primal incarnate of fire, and he's taunting with this arrogance that feels very appropriate for the situation. Fyrakk looks especially menacing under this lighting here. You'd think that, hey, shouldn't his whole body glow, or is that what you see? Is that his actual skin? I think the lighting and angle of the flaming horns just turns out like this to kind of draw this sort of angle of attention. Fyrakk is up there, he's in control, while the dragon is down there, definitely not in control. Or maybe we're looking at this kind of from the dragon's perspective. Nothing exists beyond this conversation. So Fyrakk is looking for the green aspect and refers to her as the dragon's, quote, dear mother. That's not super important, but I do wonder if everyone's on the same page here, as in you and me and even Fyrakk. Like, does Fyrakk even know that Marithra is being pegged as the next aspect? Because if so, Fyrakk somehow knows the dragon captured is Garithus, Marithra's son, according to Wowpedia. Maybe Fyrakk doesn't know and refers to any green dragon as one of Ysera's children. Throughout the whole cinematic, you see a lot more detail with facial movements that do a great job of matching the tone and speech. Fyrakk barely has a humanoid face, but you can see the sarcasm dripping on him when he's using it, and you see this hubris in his body language.
What?
And big points for selling the wincing pain in the dragon's response, too.
What do you want?
A little bit of an exposition call-out. I appreciate that as the viewer that we get to know plans before the actual characters do. The likes of Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands kept everyone in the dark at once, and I like that we get to see characters' reactions to things that we already know. I really like this shot. Fyrakk owns this face-to-face scene. Like, he's already got an idea of what he's going to do based on the dragon's response. And overall, Fyrakk is like, okay, he's just like a dick, and he's doing a great job of showing that he is and being extra menacing in order to get what he wants.
I will never betray my kin.
You know, the tongue-sucking thing, that wasn't something that I expected from a barely humanoid-looking character, but I loved it, and the sarcastic pity, it goes off really well. And then we go back to this power move shot. We're sort of looking through the dragon's perspective, and I guess the dragon's not seeing anything but Fyrakk's face, Fyrakk's lips, and letting these threats sink to the deepest parts of his mind. This right here is the face of a villain, not just motivated by years of confinement, but the massive amounts of shadow flame that he consumed that apparently seems to leak out when he's at his most menacing. But he's also not alone. Maybe Fyrakk could have noticed earlier, but he snaps away, aware of Vyranoth entering the scene. She reminds him of her goal of liberating Azeroth from the Titans, which does not mean unnecessary killing. It kind of reminds me of Fyrakk mirroring Sargeras, whose idea of fixing the universe was to burn it all to the ground. But after Vyranoth calls him out, Fyrakk's demeanor kind of shrinks back. He reminds me a little bit of Starscream from Transformers when faced with a threat. He tries to defuse the situation in his favor. Okay, never mind. He's pretty crazy. For a moment, he doesn't even seem to want information anymore, just to inflict pain. Maybe that's Fyrakk, maybe that's the Shadow Flame talking. Vyranoth doesn't seem pleased, although we never see a very cheerful face on her either. Maybe she's like, I really wish that Iridikron were here to keep Fyrakk in line. At this point, it's almost like the earlier part of the scene, as if it were only Fyrakk and this dragon talking, only now Fyrakk doesn't even acknowledge Vyranoth as being part of the scene, even though she's like right there. Between the excitement and the Shadow Flame taint, maybe that's lessening his restraint. That is, until Vyranoth's had enough and puts a temporary stop to him, and then again the Shadow Flame retreats. But Fyrakk's still Fyrakk, and well, he just got trifled with. So out of anger, he lashes out at Vyranoth, and she defends. The teapots are fine, thanks for asking. Fyrakk does seem capable of overpowering Vyranoth even without tapping into the Shadow Flame, that or Vyranoth just doesn't want to hurt him. Or this is the equivalent of a brother-sister fight. Whatever the case though, she does talk him out of it, and like a little brother who lost, he sneers like, okay fine, have it your way, but doesn't leave before filling us, the viewers, in on their plan, that they want the power inside the Emerald Dream. Important part, he does actually leave. He doesn't kill the dragon on a whim because he was reminded that the dragons are not the bad guys, they're actually the victims. It's the Titans that are the bad guys, and they got a job to do. The dragon does get the last word, thanking Vyranoth before she leaves. I'm going to presume that he survives, like there's no extra twist after the scene, and he'll be the one who fills us in once we get to the scene in game. Couple of questions come to mind, like exactly what kind of power is it that Fyrakk and the Incarnates are looking for inside the dream? Earlier in the scene, Fyrakk refers to a power in the tree's heart, which is a mix of, I guess, the powers of Elune, the Winter Queen, and a bunch of dead Night Elf souls. Maybe it's something that the Incarnates want to use as a weapon in a possible battle against the Titans. Fyrakk, though, might have other hidden intentions. The dream isn't exactly a pristine realm. There are dark forces at play threatening the dream, and maybe Fyrakk wants in so he can tap into that. I mean, he's already slurped up all that Shadow Flame juice, so who's to say that he doesn't want more? There are only a few parts during this scene where Fyrakk starts to leak out some of the Shadow Flame energy. Common story tropes insist that this is a sign of progressive corruption on part of Fyrakk, but for now it seems like he's in control, similar to Garrosh being himself mentally when he consumed an old god's heart during the Siege of Orgrimmar. Knowing that Iridikron is allying himself with the forces of the Void, I can see Fyrakk aligning his interests with theirs even before Iridikron portaled off of Azeroth. Or maybe with the snap of a finger, Fyrakk could be taken over by the Shadow Flame and become a thrall of the Void somehow. Whatever the case though, Vyranoth seems kind of alone. She believes in the fight with the Titans, but not entirely with Fyrakk's methods. She might not be fully knowledgeable of what Iridikron is planning either. Warcraft has been nothing if not obvious with its storytelling. It doesn't take too deep of an interpretation to predict what may happen in the future. Like, I don't see Vyranoth teaming up with the dragons per se, but I can envision her wanting to stop her other kin from going too far. Basically, she and the Incarnates are, deep down, Team Azeroth. If Fyrakk or Iridikron are against that, she's probably going to act against them, even if that means teaming up with the filthy champions of Azeroth. Ew. For now, Fyrakk is in the spotlight, and the WoW team has done a pretty good job of making him out to be a bad guy. Comparing him to the likes of the Jailer, Fyrakk talks at people, not over them. He's cruel and isn't being abstract about it. It's like, come on, he straight up says I'm gonna murder everyone standing in his way, but you can prevent that by giving me what I want. It's a great balance that we got from this cinematic. I love that we're getting to know him more. It's gonna suck when we kill him, but I hope the loot's good. But anyway, that's the closer look, but I'd love for you to point out the details that I missed. Please like the video, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.